least happy. And in a big upset win, the Minnesota Vikings vanquished the San Francisco 49ers 23.
How are you this morning? Welcome to the Greg Belfrage Show. It's great to have you along. I'm sorry it's been a while since we've been on YouTube. You can still hear my voice. I was off a couple of days last week, just wasn't feeling well at all, and still not feeling 100%, but more than well enough to come back to work. So anyway, I apologize. I just doing the video shows on top. I did work on Friday, but I just wasn't up to also getting onto YouTube, so I apologize. But we're getting ready to get underway this morning, so here we go.
All you need is a cause and a cell phone.
Thanks so much for being here.
Kello, News Talk 1320, 107.9, and Kello.com. The Doctor of Discernment is on the air.
I love the Greg Belfrage Show.
I've been listening to you for years, Greg. Thanks for all you do and keeping us informed.
You sound a little taller on radio.
Dispensing a daily dose of common sense. No prescription required.
Americans love a winner and will not tolerate a loser. Americans play to win all the time. I don't believe in the no-win scenario.
This is the Greg Belfrage Show.
Good morning, my friend. The marketplace of ideas is open. It is great to have you along. Hope you had a terrific weekend. Well, it's yet another Monday morning where we find ourselves, the big story being another assassination attempt against Donald Trump. He is safe and he's well, Trump said, following this assassination attempt over the weekend. This happened at his golf club in West Palm Beach. And he said, speaking about this, by the way, the suspect has been apprehended. But Trump said, you know, there were gunshots in my vicinity, but before rumors start spiraling out of control, I want you to hear this first. I am safe and well, Trump said. This is following the incident. Trump said, nothing will slow me down. I will never surrender. I will always love you for supporting me. Unity, peace, make America great again, Trump said. So that was immediately after this happened. And then Trump also took to True Social again yesterday. And he said, I would like to thank everyone for your concern and well wishes. It was certainly an interesting day. Most importantly, I would like to thank the U.S. Secret Service, Palm Beach County Sheriff Rick Bradshaw and his office of brave and dedicated patriots, and all of law enforcement for the incredible job done today at Trump International in keeping me as the 45th president of the United States and the Republican nominee in the upcoming presidential election safe, he said. The job done was absolutely outstanding. I am very proud to be an American, Trump said. So Trump is okay and very safe, as he said, safe and well, and very grateful then to Secret Service and to law enforcement. So let's get into what happened. The suspected gunman is Ryan Wesley Ruth, who was taken into custody. He was, authorities say, armed with an AK-47 while Trump was playing golf. A Secret Service agent was out on the course and he was a hole ahead. And he spotted a rifle sticking through a chain link fence. And the Secret Service agent immediately opened fire. This guy was 300 to 500 yards away from Donald Trump. That's what we're hearing this morning. 300 to 500 yards away from Trump. He had two backpacks, ceramic plates, and a GoPro camera, which authorities recovered. In fact, he just abandoned his stuff and took off. The shooter did. So he just abandoned his stuff. He is what, 58? I think he's 58 years old, this guy. So he just abandoned his stuff, drove off. Yes, he's 58. And authorities talking about this, and there's a little more background on him. I've got a number of different stories here. This man has had issues with Trump, and as you heard on from Fox News Radio a few moments ago, he initially, when Donald Trump was first elected, he voted for Trump, and now apparently has moved in his. I'm trying to be very, very mindful of, not reacting to any of this in an attitude that's too flippant. I don't want to be too flippant. I don't find any of this funny, first of all, and I'm sure you don't either. And what we see happening right now is really concerning. Same time, I don't want to alarm the hell out of you either. But this guy, he was all over the road in terms of his political viewpoints, because he apparently had supported Trump, and then he's also voted for. He just had political leanings that were kind of all over. He was apparently Nikki Haley and Vivek Ramaswamy supporter at one time. His son says that his father hated Trump, but is not a violent person. I don't like Trump either, he says. So this guy has got a lengthy criminal record from North Carolina. He frequently posted about politics, donated to Democratic candidates and causes dating back to 2019. He also bashed Trump in a post back in April, and he said, democracy, capital letters, democracy is on the ballot and we cannot lose. Well, who does that sound like? I mean, taking Kamala Harris has said things specifically July 31st. Kamala Harris said, our fundamental freedoms are on the ballot and so is our democracy. She had used that wording at several different events. And this guy, again, democracy is on the ballot and we cannot lose. We cannot afford to fail. The world is counting on us to show the way. And you do that, what, through assassination? Again, I mean, just the logic of this is just escapes, I think, certainly escapes me. Tom Fitton of Judicial Watch said it's no coincidence that Routh repeated Kamala's and Joe's extremist rhetoric against Trump. At this point, it is inexcusable incitement. Yeah. And therefore, it will continue. I fear and I've said this earlier, and I try not to say it too often, but I have feared that we would see another assassination attempt. I fear we'll see another one yet prior to the election. That we will, and God only knows what will happen after the election, depending on which way that goes. So this is, it's just deeply troubling. So let's get some comments from the sheriff, who caught this guy, Martin County Sheriff William Snyder, said he was immediately suspicious after pulling over this 58-year-old guy. He had fled in a black Nissan after Secret Service agents fired shots. They started, as they say, he's the man they saw poking a rifle through the fence. And Snyder said that the shooter never even questioned him about the reason as to why he was being pulled over. Said there were helicopters, there were police lights everywhere, and this guy never even asked a question as to what was going on, why he was being stopped, just never. And a lot of this I've already shared with you. He was 300 to 500 yards away. And Snyder said, I think every American with common sense recognizes no matter where you are on the political spectrum, this is completely appalling. I mean, it's horrific, he said. Here you have the past president of the United States, a contender for being the next president of the United States. And now he's speaking about Trump here, and Trump's out golfing. What the heck? He was out golfing. He's not even on the campaign, he's saying. Yeah, he was out golfing. So there are photos of this, of the shooter. You may have seen them online. So Snyder said of the shooter, he was detached and unbothered when he was pulled over. He said the man never questioned why he was being detained. Wouldn't that be your question? So he was 300 to 500 yards away from Donald Trump. AK-47 was recovered by authorities. He also had 2 backpacks, ceramic plates, and a GoPro camera. He wanted to catch the whole thing on camera. This guy wanted to catch the assassination attempt of Trump on camera. So he has a prolific arrest record, the shooter does. And authorities then, are treating this as an assassination attempt against Trump. So a background check on the name given by officials revealed that he currently lives in Hawaii. He's faced several dozens of run-ins with police stretching back to at least the 1990s. And again, I shared with you, according to another report, had numerous arrests as a result of all those. So this, clearly he was having issues dealing with, the rule of law. So Florida Governor Ron DeSantis announced that Florida is going to conduct its own investigation into this assassination attempt. And he said this on X. He said the people deserve the truth about what about the would-be assassin and how he was able to get within 500 yards of the former president and current GOP nominee, he says. So Florida will be conducting its own investigation. Also, then there's a lot of reaction, and starting with President Biden yesterday, who condemned the political violence. He said he had been briefed on the incident, and he released a statement, the president did, saying a suspect is in custody. I commend the work of the Secret Service and their law enforcement partners for their vigilance and their efforts to keep the former president and those around him safe, he said. And he was relieved that Trump was unharmed, he said. And then he went on to say, there is an active investigation into this incident as law enforcement gathers more details about what happened. As I have said many times, there is no place for political violence or for any violence ever in our country. And I've directed my team to ensure that Secret Service has every resource, capability, and protective measure necessary to ensure the former president's continued safety. Nancy Pelosi also said there is never a place for political violence in America. And yet we see political violence all over the country. I mean, it's taking place in a number of different ways. The anti-Semitism that we have seen throughout, on college campuses throughout the country. We've seen it all throughout the country. And Pelosi said on X, there never is a place for political violence of any kind in America. As the investigation in today's incident continues, let us commend law enforcement for their actions to keep the former president safe from harm. Absolutely. Share those thoughts about law enforcement. Just really grateful for the job that they do. Representative Tim Burchett of Tennessee, you may remember, is a task force member looking into the previous assassination attempt against Donald Trump. And so Burchett was on Fox News Live talking about details, and he said he wants answers on how the suspect was able to get so close to Trump, 300 to 500 yards. That's how close he was. And so he wants answers as to why the guy got so close. He said, and he was talking about other lawmakers are already demanding more security measures. They're already calling now. And you got to ask yourself, why was there not a drone flying over wherever the president is? This is ridiculous, Burchett said. But very critical of the Secret Service. He said the problem is you've got a Secret Service, at least in my opinion, and in the public's eye, that is compromised and it lacks in leadership. And you've got great agents on the ground, obviously one who took that shot. But why in the world would anybody be anywhere near the perimeter of this? This line of sight that we talk about is just beyond me. So we've got to get some answers. I don't think we're going to get them during this administration, but hopefully under the Trump administration, we'll clean this rat's nest out. That's what Burchett is saying. Also, House Speaker Mike Johnson said that he and his wife are also thanking God that Trump survived the second assassination attempt. He said, Kelly and I are departing Mar-a-Lago, where we just spent a few hours with President Trump, thanking God for protecting him today once again. Trump said, no leader in American history has endured more attacks and remained so strong and resilient. He is unstoppable, he said. So that is just a huge story, and we'll get your thoughts on it coming up this morning. It's, as to why you think is, what is it that we're seeing behind these kinds of things, this kind of violence, and it all seems to center on Trump. Or a lot of it seems to. I want to amend that comment because, I mean, in terms of political violence, the political violence that we see really is, Donald Trump seems to be the focus of a lot of it. So we'll talk about that. Also, we had the Emmy Awards last night. Shogun had historic wins. They, in their first season, 18 Emmys in their first season. Pretty incredible. Hacks scored an upset for Best Comedy. on what was still a 4-trophy night for the Bear. Also, Baby Reindeer did well at the Emmy Awards. Shogun did very well, along with 14 Emmys. It claimed the Precursor Creative Arts Emmys, had an unmatched performance with 18 overall for one season. Can you imagine that? 18 Emmys for one season, your first season. That is absolutely incredible. So again, Hacks scored an upset for Best Comedy. It was the surprise winner. Topped The Bear. Most had expected that it had expected to take it after some big wins earlier in the evening. So Jean Smart won her third Best Actress in a Comedy Award for the third seasons of Hacks. Those are the big moments from the Emmys last night. Hope you had a great weekend. I want to welcome you to the Greg Belfrage Show. Thank you so much for being here. 625. News and information update on the way here at Kello.
Game mornings at 9. Kello News Talk 1320 107.9.
Colonel Hotline is brought to you by Tires. See in-store details about how to get rebates from major tire manufacturers. 2 Sioux Falls locations to serve you.
Bring charm from the outdoors into your home with Renewal by Anderson Picture and Combination Windows. Optimizing a beautiful view and light in the bedroom, kitchen, or living room from ABC Seamless of Sioux Falls. Call 605-646-2667 today. ABC Seamless.
Unsure about your Medicare options? Call McGreevy and Associates.
We'll assist you with your Medicare options, whether you're new to Medicare, just aging in, or been on Medicare for some time. Visit us at McGreevyAssociates.com.
If you have insurance questions, McGreevy has the answer.
Sioux Falls, say hello to Blue Peak Business Fiber Internet. Blue Peak supports your business needs by protecting sensitive data, accommodating a remote workforce with hosted VoIP, and providing cloud-based applications so your business can stay nimble, scale quickly, be cost-effective, and you have one less thing to worry about. With speeds up to 10 gig, find your business fiber internet plan at mybluepeak.com/business or call 855-620-5951. Terms and conditions apply.
Are you having trouble hearing? Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life. Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one. Rated in the best hearing aids of 2024 by USA Today, Audion Hearing has the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices. Just $189.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aids.
I could not believe how my hearing and life changed.
Join over 500,000 happy customers by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
Warning, the following ZipRecruiter radio spot you are about to hear is going to be filled with F words.
When you're hiring, we at ZipRecruiter know you can feel frustrated. You can spend a fortune trying to find fabulous people, only to get flooded with candidates who are just fine. Fortunately, ZipRecruiter figured out how to fix all of that. We find the right people for your roles fast, which is our absolute favorite F word. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Partly sunny skies today. A few widely scattered showers and thunder showers west of Sioux Falls. High temperature 86 and a south wind at 15 to 30. We'll keep that south breeze tonight. 20% chance of rain, low 67. 20% chance of thunderstorms tomorrow with a high of 87. Better chances of rain by midweek. From the storms.
And in Sioux Falls at 6:38, it is partly cloudy and 71 currently at Kello. Joe Bowman is in the Kello.com News Center coming up. Fire crews continue to battle the aggressive Power Dam Road fire in central South Dakota. Also, the search for Tyler Weathersby continues. Still no new leads as to his whereabouts. And for the third time, South Dakota voters are being asked to approve recreational use of marijuana. So Joe will have details on those stories and more coming up for us here in just a few moments. It's great to have you along this morning. Coming up, we'll run down stories that are trending this morning. In fact, I've got a huge stack of, and much of it is on the assassination attempt then against Donald Trump over the weekend while he was out golfing, playing golf at his club in West Palm Beach. We'll also get you more details on that story coming up here in just a few moments from Fox News Radio. So thank you so much for starting your day with the Greg Belfrage Show here on Kello. Again, currently partly cloudy, 71. Excuse me for a few moments.
The suspect fled the area in his car, which was quickly spotted on I-95 after a witness saw and took a photo of the vehicle and license plate. He was stopped and arrested.
As Fox's Brooke Singman, the suspect identified as 58-year-old Ryan Wesley Ruth of Hawaii. Shogun had a record number 18 wins, including Best Drama at last night's Emmy Awards, starring Hiroyuki Sanada.
Shogun taught me that when people work together, we can make miracle. We can create a better future together.
Sound courtesy of the Television Academy and ABC. America's listening to Fox News.
Kello News Time, 6:31. I'm Joe Bowman in the Kello.com News Center. Fire crews continue to battle the aggressive Power Dam Road fire in central South Dakota. The blaze, burning in Millette County, has already burned over 15,000 acres. One small town and several ranches north of White River have been evacuated. The fire is 20% contained. The search for Tyler Weathersby continues, and still no leads as to his whereabouts. Weathersby from Sioux Falls left his home on foot nearly 2 weeks ago. Sioux Falls police have not released any new information. For the third time, South Dakota voters are being asked to approve the recreational use of marijuana. Supporters point to the fact it's legal in 24 other states and could generate new tax revenues. But Dr. Bonnie Amdahl of Protect South Dakota Kids says the problems created by legalizing marijuana outweigh any benefits.
What he doesn't tell you is that in Colorado, they spend $4.50 for every tax dollar brought in. If you're spending 4.5 times that amount, that is not a benefit to the state of South Dakota.
Voters approved a similar measure back in 2020, but that law was ruled unconstitutional. The idea made it back to the polls in 2022 and was rejected. Don't lace up your skates just yet. The Shields Iceplex is closed for repairs. Apparently there are problems with the chiller and repairs start today. All sessions, including Hockey Academy and Freestyle Ice, are now canceled for the next 5 to 7 weeks. South Dakota continues to be one of the happiest states in the U.S. According to a recent study by WalletHub, the Mount Rushmore state was ranked at number 12 overall. They gauged work environment, community environment, physical health, and commute time. Hawaii took the top spot as the happiest state, Louisiana, the least happy. And in a big upset win, the Minnesota Vikings vanquished the San Francisco 49ers 23-17 yesterday at the U.S. Bank Stadium. The Purple host the Houston Texans in Week 3. From the Kello.com News Center, I'm Joe Bowman.
The news never stops. Kello News Talk 1320 107.9.
Weather brought to you by Intech Cleaning and Restoration. If you need it clean, call the Intech team. IntechClean.com.
Partly sunny skies today for the Sioux Falls area. High temperature 86 and a couple of widely scattered showers and thunderstorms, mainly west of Sioux Falls. We'll keep that 20% chance of rain going tonight. Low temperature at 67. And tomorrow, another warm day and a breezy day with a high of 87 with a 20% chance of thunderstorms.
Need some water. Oh.
Kello updates your world around the clock with Fox News. Tune in 4, 5, 6 times a day so you'll always know what's happening. Kello News Talk 1320 107.9.
Here at the Kim Campbell Show, we do our best to stay as politically neutral as possible. We talk politics only when it collides with tech. Those paths crossed at last week's presidential debate. So here's our investigation. I've been Commando for Simply Safe. Visit simplysafekim.com to save 50% on a new system. There's no safe like Simply Safe. Conspiracy theories claim Vice President Harris was cheating by wearing earbuds disguised as pearl earrings during a debate. Okay, there are earbuds designed to look like pearl earrings, made by a German company, Icebach. They're called Nova H1, and they come in gold or silver-plated frames. Harris was wearing gold-framed pearl earrings, but Tiffany makes $2,200 18-karat gold earrings with 10-millimeter pearls. She's been photographed in them many times. At a distance, the designs look similar, but up close, there's no comparison. Another reason you cannot trust social media during the election. Enter to win a brand new iPhone 16 at winprokim.com. Feeling secure in your own home should not be a luxury. It should be a given. That's why Simply Safe Home Security is dedicated to providing advanced protection and peace of mind to all families. Right now, you can save big on your award-winning Simply Safe system for 50% off and claim a free indoor security camera when you order today. With exclusive LiveGuard technology, Simply Safe's 24/7 monitoring agents can act within 5 seconds of receiving your alarm and even speak to intruders in your home, warning them that the police are on the way. With no long-term contracts or hidden fees, Simply Safe earns your trust every day by keeping you safe, satisfied, and never locked in. That's why Simply Safe was named the best home security systems by U.S. News and World Report. Join countless listeners who have found peace of mind with Simply Safe. Visit simplysafekim.com to save 50% on a new system with a free indoor security camera. That's simplysafekim.com. There's no safe like Simply Safe. That's simplysafekim.com.
The Kim Commando Show, live Saturday mornings at 9. Kello News Talk 1320 107.9.
The Kello Hotline is brought to you by Tires, your Give You More tire and automotive store. Financing programs available, 2 Sioux Falls locations to serve you.
In today's fast-paced world, building strong business relationships is key. It's about forging connections built on trust, innovation, and a passion for excellence. At Lawrence & Schiller, we're about pushing boundaries, problem-solving, outthinking and outdoing the competition, and driving positive business outcomes. If you're tired of settling for subpar results, get to know us at l-s.com, where every problem has a solution and every result is extraordinary.
Hey guys, Donald Trump Jr. here with urgent news. The world's central banks are making unprecedented moves, and it's time to pay attention. In 2022 and 2023, they bought more gold than ever before. And now in 2024, the trend is accelerating. Why? Because central banks have lost faith in the dollar. And in these uncertain times, gold is the ultimate safe haven. If you too are worried about the dollar, I urge you to take similar action by diversifying your IRA or 401k into gold with my trusted friends at Birch Gold Group. You see how it works. Get your free info kit on gold IRAs by texting the word hedge to 989898. Birch Gold is the only gold company I trust. They provide an easy process to roll over your 401k or IRA into gold without losing your tax advantage status. So text hedge 989898. That's hedge to the number 989898 to get your free info kit on gold IRAs from Birch Gold.
Okay, some mornings you might not have that get up and go.
At least you can get up and go.
Greg Belfrage Show, with insightful opinions on the latest stories and frequent weather updates. It'll get you in the know while you're getting ready to go. Kello News Talk 1320 107.9. Entertaining talk and news when it happens.
638. Partly cloudy and 71. It is great to have you along. Welcome to the Greg Belfrage Show. This hour brought to you by the Window Shop of Mitchell, offering custom windows starting at $99 a month.
Trending now.
Add them on Facebook.
Let the tweeting begin. Hashtag does that. News and views from Belf's News.
Well, the big story this morning that's trending is another assassination attempt, a second assassination attempt against Donald Trump in just over 2 months. So Trump was rushed to safety yesterday after multiple shots were fired in his vicinity while he was playing golf at his club in West Palm Beach. And he's fine, by the way. He is absolutely fine. Trump very grateful to law enforcement and to Americans expressing their concern. And Trump saying, I am safe and fine. He said following the incident. So a man is under arrest. Ryan Wesley Routh. He's a registered Democrat, says the Daily Mail. Trump confirmed in a statement about an hour after the incident again that he's safe and well, and he didn't want rumors to start spiraling out of control. So multiple shots that were fired, and as soon as the Secret Service fired at this man, he took off. He took off running. He jumped in his vehicle, and the area where he was first spotted by the security detail was 2 holes ahead of where Trump was golfing at the time of the shots. And the undergrowth then is cut back in the area every summer. It's one of the parts of the course closest to the road. And protection around Trump has been ramped up since the previous assassination attempt. That has not prevented another attempt. So the Palm Beach Sheriff's Department held a press conference yesterday afternoon providing updates. They revealed images of the suspect's backpack, a GoPro camera, and an AK-47 rifle that were left at the scene. Law enforcement roads were shut down, so on, as you might expect, given a situation like this. And both the White House said the president and the vice president have been briefed about the security incident at Trump International Golf Course, where former President Trump was golfing. They are relieved to know that he is safe. They will be kept regularly updated by their team. So Harris responded to the shooting with a statement saying violence has no place in America. So the man's been identified under arrest. And the president released a statement saying a suspect is in custody. I commend the work of the Secret Service and their law enforcement partners for their vigilance and their efforts to keep the former president and those around him safe, he said. And Trump, again, thanked everyone near him, saying that he was... I want to grab Trump's statement for you. He said he thanked the Secret Service for keeping him safe. Trump said on Truth Social, I would like to thank everyone for your concern and well wishes. It was certainly an interesting day. Most importantly, I want to thank the U.S. Secret Service, Sheriff Rick Bradshaw, and his office of brave and dedicated patriots, and all of law enforcement for the incredible job done today at Trump International in keeping me safe, he said. The job done was absolutely outstanding. I am very proud to be an American, Trump said. And that was via Truth Social. So again, the shooter is in custody. A lot of information regarding him, and it's disturbing. He's been arrested a number of times before, according to reports I saw this morning. Also, The man accused of fatally stabbing 4 University of Idaho students has been booked into jail in Boise, Idaho. That's where Brian Koberger's trial was moved and to Boise, and that's he was booked into jail there. The Idaho Supreme Court moved the trial last week because of extensive media coverage and high emotions then surrounding the story. So there's a story. This is trending this morning. So Taylor Swift, as you know, last week endorsed Kamala Harris. She endorsed Kamala Harris, and Donald Trump reacts by responding on Truth Social in all capital letters, "I hate Taylor Swift." This is what Trump says on Truth Social. Well, despite that, and of course the media, oh, Donald Trump's hating Taylor Swift. Again, I don't know that I would have said that. I don't know that would have been my reaction. Okay, she's endorsed Kamala Harris. Thought actually it was what she was encouraging people to do, Taylor Swift, through her endorsement, was to get people to vote. And saying she's voting for Kamala Harris. She's trying to encourage other people to vote. I didn't find that objectionable. I disagree with the way. Yeah, I mean her vote is hers to cast. So, it's certainly up to her. So Donald Trump reacts on Truth Social, "I hate Taylor Swift." And the whole Taylor Swift endorsement is really not having a dramatic impact on the race. So this is an ABC News and Ipsos poll showed that Taylor Swift's endorsement of Kamala Harris last week just has not made much of an impact on voters. Which, again, then there's just that not a reason for Trump to respond in the way that he did. Also, funeral services for a teacher and a student killed in Appalachia High School. This occurred over the weekend, Saturday. Funeral services for the 2 that were killed drew hundreds of people together. 4 people died, 9 were hurt. Remember when a student started shooting inside the school? This is the minor who shot up the school. So mourners gathering at the funerals for a teenage boy, as well as the math teacher who was killed. So 14-year-old Mason Schmermerhorn and 53-year-old Christina Irami. And they gathered to say farewell. Also, the 911 calls from that Georgia shooting have been released. That happened on Friday. Most of the calls released are from parents of students at the high school or nearby schools asking about their children. So the call center the 911 call center was inundated with calls. Around 10:20 that morning, as word started getting out, then those have been released. Other stories that are trending this morning. Melania Trump shared a video on her X account over the weekend blasting the FBI for the raid on her Mar-a-Lago home. Said it should be a warning to all Americans, she said. I never imagined my privacy would be invaded by the government here in America. The FBI raided my home in Florida, searched through my personal belongings. This is not just my story. It serves as a warning to all Americans, a reminder that our freedom and rights must be respected, she said. So you are pretty well informed about Donald Trump, and we talk about his lawsuits against the Justice Department, and what we don't always hear are comments from the former First Lady. So she wrote on X that this should serve as a warning to all Americans. Other stories trending this morning. This is from the Daily Mail. ABC News debate moderator Lindsay Davis made a stunning admission. That's their words, not mine. Made a stunning admission about their attempts to fact check Donald Trump during the debate with Kamala Harris. As you know, Republicans were not happy that the moderators refused to fact check Harris. And so in this new interview, Lindsay Davis says, well, it was a conscious decision to do that because they watched the CNN debate on how Trump and Biden performed. And she says, people were concerned that statements were allowed to just hang and not be disputed by the candidate Biden at the time or the moderators. And therefore, so they were not going to allow that to happen because, Donald Trump was not fact-checked by CNN, therefore needed to be during the debate with Joe Biden. Therefore, needed to be fact-checked by the ABC debate team. This is just crazy. It's hardly I think that was pretty clear last week. I don't think we're learning anything that you and I didn't already know. We're smart enough to figure out what we saw happen there. Other stories that are trending this morning. Disney and DirecTV have reached a deal that would restore a number of programs. So if you're a DirecTV subscriber, DirecTV is resumed channels from Disney, including ESPN and ABC. So they agreed to a new deal less than 2 weeks after service was stopped to DirecTV. So they made a joint announcement then over the weekend. Prior to the college football games, which began at noon Eastern on Saturday. Speaking of college football week 3. Quick recap, Georgia survived. Arch Manning lights up the scoreboard. You had top-ranked Georgia rallying past Kentucky 13-12. And a fire alarm went off during a Florida State post-game after their disastrous loss to Memphis. So look at some of the highlights of week 3. Also trending this morning from Minnesota, a St. Paul man with a history of drug abuse and crime spent the next 22 years in jail. He was sentenced Friday for killing his wife while the two were at Bible study. So he was sentenced to 400 months. That is about, excuse me. Still got a lingering cough. 33 and a third years in prison. They were at a Bible study session when apparently witnesses say he leaned over and whispered in something in her ear, then pulled his hunting knife and stabbed her at least 20 times. Wow. Also, the billionaire rocket man who made the first private spacewalk on the SpaceX Polaris Dawn mission is back on Earth. He splashed down off the coast of Florida a couple of days ago. 41-year-old Jared Isaacman led the 4-member team. So splashdown occurred and all is well. Capsule was lifted from the water and onto the recovery vessel about a half hour later. Also, police in northeastern Wisconsin say skeletal remains found over the weekend have been identified as a missing 3-year-old Elijah View. The boy disappeared. You remember this story? Boy disappeared back in February. And someone found his remains Saturday on their private property as they were preparing the grounds for hunting season. So forensic experts confirmed the bones belonged to a human, and the Wisconsin Crime Lab matched the DNA to the missing 3-year-old. Sad story. Also, Shannon Sharp is coming clean. He is apologizing after going live on Instagram. While I apologize for the nature of this, he was having sex and went live on Instagram while it happened. Now, nothing could be seen, but the audio could be heard. You couldn't see anything, but you could hear it. And Sharp said, obviously, I'm embarrassed. I'm someone that is extremely, extremely private, and to have one of your most intimate details, the audio heard for the entire world to hear, I'm embarrassed for a number of reasons. And then he continued on speaking about, I'm always find it interesting when people talk about themselves in the third person, you know. And he said, people count on Shannon. Shea Media, ESPN, there are a lot of people that count on him at all times. Even when I'm behind closed doors, I still try to remain a level of professional. Although I'm in the privacy of my own home, I'm very disappointed in myself, not for the act. There are millions and billions of consenting age that engage in activities. But he said he's unfamiliar with Instagram Live. He'd never used it before. He said, I've never turned on IG Live, so I don't even know how it works, he said. So his phone started blowing up with people trying to contact him. And that's when he realized what happened. He said, man, my heart sank. It dropped. So, crazy story. Going live, his Instagram Live. Other stories that are trending this morning, Tiger Woods has announced that he underwent successful back surgery. He talked about this on Friday, shared the news on X. He said, the surgery went smoothly, and I'm hopeful that this will alleviate the back spasms and the pain I was experiencing most of the season. And that's a look at the stories trending this morning in Belf's News Gallery. This hour of the Greg Belfrage Show, brought to you by the Window Shop of Mitchell, offering custom windows starting at $99 a month.
We exceed them. We don't just follow best practices, we set them. With Mitchell Roofing and Siding, you're not just choosing a service provider, you're choosing a partner.
Whether it's on the job, on the field,
or one of those days.
Accidents can happen anywhere. If you suffer a break, sprain, or any other orthopedic injury, trust the experienced orthopedic team at Avera Orthopedics Urgent Care to keep you moving. Be seen immediately inside the Avera
It's
Specialty
a
Hospital
Monday.
at 60
Ladies and
Lincoln
gentlemen,
Beach.
it's a
No
Monday.
appointment necessary. Learn more about Avera's orthopedic urgent care at avera.org/orthopedic urgent care.
Oh, things keep going from bad to worse. Joe Bowman will be in here to rescue me here in a moment. Kello News is on the way. You're listening to the Greg Belfrage Show on Kello.
On 1320 KELO Sioux Falls.
All right. I want to thank you, my friend, for letting me join you this morning. I hope you'll be back for the 4th hour of the Greg Belfrage Show coming up at 9:30 this morning. So take care. So long until then, my friend.